All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you happen to be listening to this video. Mr. Haley here. Want to go over common ratios and how do you take the common ratios that you find on a table and turn that into a formula for an exponential function. So if you look on the screen to the right, you will see the formula for exponential function is a times b to the power of x, and that can have a y or a f of x on there. Remember that a is the starting point, which is the y-intercept, and b is the common ratio. Now, if you look at this table, is there a y-intercept on this table? So your brain right now should be telling you, no, Mr. Haley, there's no y-intercept because there has to be a zero, and there's no zero on the x. That's right. Okay, so for those of you who may be struggling with finding the common ratio, the cool thing is if you remember your math from way back when you were little, common ratios are basically multiplication factors. So what can you multiply the number that you see on the table to get to the next number? That should repeat over and over. So if you remember your math from back in the day, multiplication tables, what times 3 gives you 12? Oh, that's easy, Mr. Haley. That's a 4. I know this math stuff. Okay, so the question is, if I can take 3 and multiply it by 4 and get 12, can I continue that process all the way down the table? If I can, then I have a common ratio. So, of course, 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 4 is 192. So that is our common ratio. Now, so we know what the common ratio is. It's 4. How do we get to the y-intercept? Well, we actually have to go back, right? And to go back to calculate that number, we have to divide this number here, the last number on the table, or we should say the first number, and we divide that by the common ratio. So 3 divided by 4 gives you 3/4. So that is actually our A, which is the y-intercept. Okay, so the y-intercept is 3/4, common ratio is 4, and that is the function formula for this problem. F of x is equal to 3/4 times 4 to the power of x. Remember that exponential functions have the x as the exponent. Okay, so of course you also are going to need to check to see if your answer is correct. That's where the calculator comes in. Some of y'all are using a basic calculator on a cell phone, and that's a no. That's a no-go. There's a reason why I gave you the information about getting the TI calculator on your phone, because you need that calculator. A couple of things to keep in mind. Notice that I put parentheses over the 3/4. Anytime you have a fraction, it is probably safer to put parentheses on that thing. Okay, so I used the calculator and I checked by multiplying 3/4 by 4, and of course that gave me all the numbers that were on this table. Oh, if you didn't catch that, just kind of rewind it back and you can see how you use the calculator to do that. Maybe I have enough time to play it again. For those of you that didn't see, I got the sniffles. So 3/4 times 4 should get 3, right? And then I multiply 3 times 4, get 12. 12 times 4, get 48. 48 times 4, get 192. So there it is. Always double check your answers. The calculator is your friend.